Alex leaned back in their chair, staring blankly at the ceiling of their small apartment, feeling the weight of the week pressing down on their chest. Every inch of their body ached from stress, and sleep had become a luxury they couldn't afford. In their late 20s and climbing the ranks in a demanding corporate job, Alex had everything they once thought would make them happy: a good salary, recognition, and a clear path to promotion. But somewhere along the way, the pressures and expectations of this world had overtaken the joy they once felt. These days, Alex's mind was like a tangled ball of thoughts and emotions, constantly buzzing with worries about deadlines, projects, and the endless opinions of others. The mental fog had grown so thick that even simple tasks seemed overwhelming. They spent nights replaying the day's stressful moments and fretting over future outcomes, feeling more trapped with each passing day. One particularly exhausting evening, as Alex was scrolling aimlessly through social media to escape the crushing anxiety, they stumbled upon a quote: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The words struck a chord, reverberating in the quiet spaces of their mind. It was attributed to Marcus Aurelius, an ancient Roman emperor and philosopher known for his writings on Stoicism. Curious, Alex began reading about Stoicism, drawn to its promise of finding peace through self-control and acceptance of things beyond one's influence. The philosophy offered a path to clarity in a chaotic world, a mindset built on resilience and inner calm. Inspired, Alex decided to take on a personal challenge: to live by Stoic principles for 1 week and see if it would clear the mental fog and restore their focus. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but the idea of breaking free from the relentless cycle of stress was worth the effort. Alex picked 4 core Stoic practices to follow. 1. Recognize what's within your control and let go of the rest. 2. Mindfulness and stay present in each moment. 3. Embrace discomfort as a growth opportunity. 4. Reframe negative thoughts and see challenges as lessons. With these principles as their guide, Alex prepared to embark on a Stoic journey, hoping that by the end of the week, they might finally feel a sense of clarity and calm. Day 1. The power of morning routine and intentions. The first day of the journey began with the ring of an early morning alarm. Alex resisted the urge to snooze, remembering their commitment to embrace discomfort. They groggily sat up, feeling the usual tension in their shoulders and a mind already racing with the tasks awaiting them. Today, however, was different. Alex had decided to start the day with a Stoic-inspired morning routine: a few moments of meditation, some deep breathing, and setting an intention for the day. Sitting on the edge of their bed, Alex closed their eyes and took a deep breath, letting the quiet of the early morning fill their mind. They focused on the principle of controlling what you can and chose one simple intention: to stay calm and focused, regardless of any outside distractions. It felt odd at first, after all. They weren't used to taking time for themselves in the morning. But as they breathed, Alex felt a small, peaceful shift, a tiny space of stillness amidst the usual chaos. Armed with this calm, Alex went about their morning, determined to apply their first Stoic principle. Yet, challenges came almost immediately. When Alex opened their inbox, they found it flooded with urgent emails, each demanding immediate attention. Normally, this would send them spiraling, mind racing from one task to the next. But this time, Alex took a deep breath, reminded themselves that they could only control their response, and began working through the emails one by one. It was difficult, and frustration bubbled up, but Alex stayed with the intention, moving steadily instead of rushing. Day 2, practicing mindfulness amidst daily tasks. Day 2 was all about staying present. Alex often spent their days in a whirlwind of activity, barely noticing the world around them. But today, They were determined to slow down and really observe each task. When they made coffee, they focused on the warmth of the mug, the rich aroma filling the air, and the comforting sound of liquid pouring into the cup. Small moments, often overlooked, became a source of grounding and calm. At work, however, the challenge became more intense. Meetings piled up and distractions were everywhere. Each time, Alex's mind began drifting, thinking about what someone might say or fearing a mistake in the next presentation. They took a breath and reminded themselves to focus solely on the task at hand. They felt the tug of anxiety, the familiar feeling of needing to anticipate every possible outcome. Yet, they fought to bring their mind back to the present. There were moments of success where they could fully immerse themselves in a task, finding clarity they hadn't experienced in ages. But there were also moments of doubt, where the old habits of worry and overthinking slipped back in, clouding their focus. Each time this happened, Alex reminded themselves that Stoicism was not about immediate change, but gradual practice. They let the doubts calm, acknowledged them, and gently returned to the present. Day 3, reframing negative thoughts. Be the third day. Alex had started noticing the subtle shift in their mindset. They were slowly becoming more aware of their thoughts, catching negative spirals before they could fully take hold. This day's focus was on reframing negativity, taking challenges and viewing them as opportunities for growth. The real test came when a project Alex had worked tirelessly on was met with unexpected criticism. In the past, this would have crushed them, sending them into a tailspin of self-doubt and frustration. But today, they remembered the Stoic practice of reframing. Instead of seeing the feedback as a personal attack, Alex tried to view it as a chance to improve. It wasn't easy. The sting of criticism still lingered, and there were moments when Alex had to fight the urge to defend their work or make excuses. But each time the frustration flared up, they took a breath, reminded themselves that they could only control their reaction, and focused on what they could learn from the feedback. That evening, Alex reflected on the day and felt a small but powerful sense of accomplishment. They hadn't let the criticism ruin their focus or define their worth. Instead, they saw it for what it was, a chance to grow and become better. For the first time in a long time, Alex felt a flicker of resilience, a newfound strength in the face of adversity. Challenges and emotions the first few days weren't without struggle. Embracing Stoic principles sounded simple in theory, but in practice, Alex often found themselves slipping back into old habits. The urge to react emotionally, to defend against perceived threats, and to plan excessively for every possible outcome was powerful, deeply ingrained. There were times when Alex felt mentally exhausted from the effort of constantly redirecting their thoughts and refocusing their attention. On the third evening, Alex sat alone, wrestling with a mix of emotions. The journey so far had been eye-opening, but it was also tiring. They wondered if they were strong enough to keep going, if Stoicism was even the right path for them. Doubts crept in, whispering that maybe it was easier to return to old patterns. Yet, as Alex reflected, they remembered the purpose of their journey to find clarity and peace, to break free from the endless cycle of stress and anxiety. Stoicism was not about perfection, but about striving, growing a little each day. This realization rekindled Alex's determination. They promised themselves that no matter how hard it was, they would continue on this path, even if it meant facing their fears and discomfort head-on. Realizations over the course of these first few days. Alex learned that Stoicism was not an escape from life's difficulties, but a way of transforming their relationship with those difficulties. Instead of running from discomfort, they began seeing it as a natural part of growth. Alex was starting to understand that peace and clarity didn't come from avoiding challenges, but from embracing them with a calm, focused mind. As they went to bed that night, Alex felt a small glimmer of hope. They still had a long way to go, but the journey was beginning to make sense. For the first time in months, their mind felt just a little lighter, their heart a little more resilient. They closed their eyes, ready to continue the journey tomorrow, with the simple goal of becoming just a little more stoic than the day before. Days 4, 5. Embracing daily reflection and gratitude be the fourth day. Alex felt the subtle but undeniable changes brought about by practicing stoicism. Each day had begun to feel a little clearer, a little less burdened by the constant, relentless flow of negative thoughts. Inspired by the Stoic practice of daily reflection, Alex decided to spend the last minutes of each night journaling. They would write down something that had challenged them and how they responded. This became a ritual, a way to look back, learn, and prepare to face the next day with a renewed perspective. On the fourth evening, after a long and demanding day at work, Alex sat quietly by the bedside, reflecting on the events of the day. They had faced moments of doubt, annoyance, and even anger, especially when a client was particularly harsh in their feedback. The old Alex would have internalized this criticism, letting it fester into feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. But with their journal in hand, they found themselves not only acknowledging those emotions, but also reframing them. Alex wrote, "Today, I realized that I'm not defined by one interaction or by someone else's opinion of my work. What matters is how I respond and how I continue to improve. I'm grateful for this chance to grow." With each word, they felt the tension dissolve, replaced by a surprising sense of calm. They were starting to view setbacks, not as personal failures, but as opportunities to learn and strengthen their resilience. Gratitude, they found, was a powerful Stoic tool. By focusing on what they could appreciate, even in moments of frustration, Alex was learning to cultivate an inner peace that couldn't be easily shaken by external events. Day 5, Amor Fati, loving one's fate. In the fifth day, Alex encountered a major setback at work. They had been working tirelessly on a presentation for an upcoming pitch, but due to a sudden reschedule, the presentation was pushed up by a week. This news hit hard. Alex's mind raced with thoughts of unpreparedness and failure. Anxiety crept in, and for a moment, they felt that familiar wave of panic start to build. However, they paused, recalling a powerful Stoic principle they had read about, Amor Fati, or the love of fate. Amor Fati taught that everything that happens, whether seemingly good or bad, is an integral part of one's path. To love fate means to embrace everything life throws at you as necessary steps in your journey. Alex took a deep breath, letting the idea sink in. They decided to approach the presentation with acceptance, viewing it as an opportunity to test their ability under pressure. This wasn't just a setback. It was a chance to grow, to strengthen their adaptability and resilience. The preparation was intense, but Alex found that embracing the challenge without resentment brought a surprising sense of peace. Instead of dreading the presentation, they were motivated to give their best effort. And when the day finally came, Alex delivered the pitch with clarity and confidence, impressing both their team and the client. The experience was a breakthrough, a testament to the power of Stoicism in transforming fear into purpose. Day 6, self-discipline and inner calm. As the week neared its end, Alex decided to focus on cultivating inner calm by practicing self-discipline in their thoughts and reactions. This day's challenge was particularly hard. An unexpected conflict with a colleague during a meeting. The colleague, who had often been difficult, dismissed Alex's ideas with an offhand remark. The sting of disrespect and anger was immediate, and Alex felt their composure slipping. But before reacting, Alex paused, recalling Marcus Aurelius's advice on not letting others dictate one's emotions. They took a deep breath and chose to respond calmly, simply asking the colleague to clarify their concerns. Alex had resisted the impulse to defend themselves, instead choosing self-discipline and detachment. By not reacting emotionally, they had maintained inner peace and set a tone of respect that altered the outcome of the conversation. This experience reinforced their belief in Stoicism, not just as a philosophy but as a tool for finding genuine calm in a turbulent world. Day 7. Detachment and reflection. On the journey. On the final day, Alex set aside time to reflect on the entire week. It had been a journey full of small but profound shifts, moments of struggle, and unexpected victories. The practices of Stoicism had given them a toolkit, a way of engaging with life that didn't require perfect conditions to feel at peace. One of the biggest lessons Alex learned was the power of detachment. By separating themselves from the outcomes of their efforts, they had discovered a new level of freedom. Their value no longer depended on others' opinions or on success measured by external standards. Detachment allowed Alex to find fulfillment in the act of striving, in the growth and learning that each experience brought, regardless of the outcome. As they closed the final entry in their journal, Alex felt a quiet sense of triumph. The week had been challenging, but they had come out of it with a clearer mind, a stronger sense of purpose, and a heart that was lighter. Freer, final reflections and core takeaways. Alex sat in their favorite spot by the window, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The past week had changed them in ways they hadn't anticipated. What began as an experiment in following Stoic practices had turned into a journey of profound self-discovery and growth. Through their reflections, Alex identified the core lessons that would stay with him beyond this week. 1. Control what you can. Alex now understood that their energy was best spent focusing on what was within their power to change how they reacted, what they prioritized, and how they viewed challenges. This realization was liberating, removing the burden of trying to control or worry about every outcome. 2. Be present and mindful. Living in the present had allowed Alex to appreciate the small moments and break free from the incessant worries about the future. This shift in focus had made each day richer and each task more meaningful. 3. Embrace challenges. By viewing discomfort as part of the journey, Alex had learned to approach difficulties with resilience and openness. They no longer feared challenges but saw them as chances to grow. 4. Practice detachment. One of the most freeing lessons was learning not to tie their sense of worth to outcomes. Detachment allowed Alex to find fulfillment in the process itself, rather than in any specific result or validation. Seek inner calm over external validation. Alex realized that peace and contentment come from within. They could create their own joy and meaning through inner resilience, regardless of what the world threw at them. Sharing the journey, a call to action. Feeling inspired, Alex decided that this journey shouldn't be kept to themselves. They wanted to share the power of Stoicism with others, particularly with friends and colleagues who also struggled with stress and uncertainty. They wrote a blog post titled 5 Daily Stoic Practices to Keep Your Mind Clear and Focused, summarizing the key principles and experiences from their week. In the post, Alex encouraged readers to try a Stoic Week challenge, dedicating a week to practicing these principles and noting the changes they observed. The post included practical steps, such as starting each day with a moment of reflection, journaling at night, and viewing obstacles as opportunities. Alex's call to action was simple but heartfelt. Give Stoicism a try. Embrace life as it comes, and discover the power you have to shape your own peace. Closing reflections, a life transformed. With the week behind them, Alex felt both empowered and humbled. They knew that the journey wasn't over. Stoicism wasn't a quick fix, but a lifelong commitment to growth and resilience. Yet they now had a clearer sense of direction, a newfound strength that would guide them through whatever life brought next. The story ends with Alex's quiet reflection by the window, watching the world go by with a calm, steady gaze. They no longer felt overwhelmed by the demands of their job or the uncertainty of the future. Instead, they felt grounded, focused, and ready to meet life with an open heart and a clear mind. In the last lines, Alex thinks back to the quote that started it all. "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The words had come to life for them over the past week, transforming their approach to each day and shaping their perspective on life. They now understood the hidden power of Stoicism, not just as an idea but as a practical guide to living with clarity, purpose, and peace.